Hey there everybody, welcome to Fresh Out the Box Plays Avatar Legends from Magpie Games. I am the board game guru and game master extraordinaire, Jahananan.
It's me, Yay. Casual TDG, co-host of Fresh Out the Box and Fresh Out the Podcast. If you like movies, streaming shows, and video games, check out Fresh Out the Podcast. We've got like 104 episodes. It's awesome. Check it out. But tonight we're playing Avatar, so it's session 0. I'll be doing something.
Hi, my name is Anaya. I'm super excited to be here. I occasionally like to be on Twitch and play different tabletop games. I also work in games as a game writer and narrative designer for Tenderclaws. And I also sometimes work different events like Dragonfest US and Neotropolis.
Greetings and salutations. As always, I am Michael Powell, aka Mr. Kapow. You can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is usually at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO. And I have a TTRPG YouTube channel called Fantastic Tales of Adventure, and I've been really excited to play this game.
Hi everyone, I'm Mei Ling. You can find me on TikTok at MLKitty. 1875. This is my first ever actual play stream, so please be kind. I'm very excited though. So really excited to bend some elements with this crew.
Hi, I'm Kevin Allen, he, him. I'm an actor in Los Angeles that you can sometimes find on Twitch at other people's campaigns, and you can also find me on YouTube and select episodes of The Party. It's a show about role-playing games. That's cool. It's so much fun. It's a really cool show, guys. You should check it out.
It really is.
I will. That's everybody, right? Yeah.
That's everybody.
So, this is our session 0. So we haven't played. We haven't talked yet. You don't have to know how to play. You don't have to know how to make characters. You don't have to have characters. None of that. We're gonna take care of all that right now. For those of you watching, and for those of you playing,
if you're here for the action, that's gonna be next week, right?
Yeah, the action's gonna be 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing this every other Friday, from 8 Central Standard to 11 Central Standard. That's 6 to 9 on the West Coast.
Yes.
And then
Ooh,
halfway in
can I
between,
tell
we're gonna
them-
take a little breaky break. So
Can I tell them what it is in Mountain Time, since I'm the Mountain
Sure,
Time guy?
Gary, you could tell them about Mountain Time.
In the mountains, we live in our own time zone. Do you understand? It's like living in a whole different country, and here it's 7 to 10, which I know probably blows your mind.
He's in that interstitial space. Hey.
On the East Coast.
Oh, and then
It's
East
9
Coast. Yeah, we could
Oh,
do.
damn.
What is
It's
that?
9 to midnight.
There you go. We did it. Wow, this is all the coasts. We had all 3 coasts.
That's sick.
It's almost like when we bring the 4 time zones together. Will we rule in harmony?
Did it.
That's funny. So yeah, you guys probably haven't seen a lot. Mr. Kapow, you worked with us before, but we're pretty chill. We like to keep things like it's there's a low stress environment kind of thing. And we will pretty much always play on our scheduled day unless 2 or more people cancel, which case we'll postpone. But we are planning a 10 shot for this game. Obviously, I talked to everybody about this beforehand, but this is more for the viewers. But now we're going to go through the book. We're going to make characters. We're going to talk about what you guys are interested in doing in the campaign. If there's any things that interest you, underwater battles, demigods, whatever. I mean, Avatar is different, but we'll talk about it. And also, we're going to talk about things. This is your chance to, say things that you don't want to see. Like murdered babies or, sexual assault, stuff like that. Like triggers, things that upset you, things that you don't want. We'll put hard lines on things that you don't want any of, and we can go by quickly things that make you uncomfortable.
Those examples were great. Those were 2 fantastic examples. Those were 2 fantastic
Dead
examples,
babies and
man.
sexual assault. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They cover the gambit, all right?
That's pretty much it, man. Those are the ones I'm good not seeing. You pegged me.
I mean, yeah, we're probably
God.
not gonna. Those 2 are probably off the table. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and throw
Pegging.
it out there.
Gary reminded me pegging.
yeah, no Becky.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Oh.
just be quick
Unless,
about it.
unless you ask nicely.
I'll see myself out if we're not
Fade to
doing
black.
that.
Fade to black.
But yeah, so I'm gonna kick it
I
off.
have another one.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll kick it
No,
off
you
with
go ahead.
we have hard lines against sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, that kind of stuff. Like, let's not do it. For the most, we haven't had a problem. People that we invite on the show tend to be of a similar mindset, but I'm just putting it out there in case when you use a secret monster, just to keep it to yourself, I guess.
We did do a little character research on everybody before we agreed, and nobody had any Nazi memorabilia or Confederate flags on their websites, so we figured you guys are good to go.
Yeah, we figured it was okay.
All right, I got another one.
Yeah.
I'm married. I'm in a happily monogamous relationship, so I don't want to fall in love with another character or flirt with another character or an NPC for that matter. I'm more here for the adventure, not to fall in love with another person. So that, and then of course you mentioned the dead babies and stuff. My background. I'm come from a human trafficking and criminal investigation background, so the less we're looking and investigating the details of a body, the better. If we can just breeze over and say, the townsfolk are, there are bodies, I'm good with that. That's enough.
That's fair.
I would like to put another line. This is kind of a recent one for me, it's a personal one. Anything that's Alzheimer's and dementia.
Mm.
Okay. We will avoid dementia in Alzheimer's storylines. That's fair. Yeah, and obviously, like, this isn't your only opportunity. It's not speak now or forever hold your peace. If I'm making you uncomfortable during the game, you can tell me and I'll stop. It's not a problem. We don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, unwelcome, or in any way like they're not a part of the group. So, you know, I don't know. We like you guys to feel like you're a part of this, and I don't want you uncomfortable. So, yeah, feel free. You can also in private. You can message me privately if you don't want to say anything now. But yeah, so that's the boilerplate stuff. Most TTRPGs nowadays in the front of the book have masks and veils and that kind of stuff, discussions about triggers and that sort of thing, which is very nice. It helps make tables inclusive, so we try to implement that wherever we can. Any questions so far?
No.
No?
Okay, me and Gary have gone through the rules, but it was like a year ago, so...
We even had Mr. Kapow on the show to help us go through some of
Yeah,
the
Mr. Kapow was here for that one, yeah, that's right.
Though I would say, John, when we open Roll20, I know we're set up to play in Roll20.
Oh, yeah.
The first thing it makes us choose as players is it makes us choose a playbook.
Yep.
And there are 10 in the book, and I think there are 14 on the list, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I made a character sheet for all of you in Roll20. They have your names on them. I put Anaya as Bria because that's what was on your thing. So
No worries.
Uh,
No worries.
you can change it. It's not a problem. But yeah, so you guys all have character sheets. We're going to be using Roll20 for the character sheets and rolling. But before we get to that, we're going to kind of talk about a couple things here. The very first thing that I want you guys to start thinking about, this game, Avatar Legends, you can play it in any of the eras that were in the show, any era that they've talked about in the show too. So that's something that you guys are going to pick mostly. I'll have my input as well, but we'll talk about it and we'll agree on it. But the eras to choose from are the Kyoshi era, the Roku era, the 100-Year War, so the time during when Aang was frozen, the time after Aang was frozen, which is the Aang era, and then the Korra era, which is, the steampunk stuff. So,
Or known as the Great Fashion Era.
the Great Fashion era. There you go.
The
Absolutely.
architecture, the automobile design, all of it.
Oh my god, it was so choice. Really quick, Janan, my full name is Mei Ling.
Mei Ling. Right.
Yeah, so it's 2 words. Sorry, it's weird. I blame my parents. But yeah, so MAE space LINH. But yeah, sorry.
That's good.
Hey, don't be sorry. Yeah, we're
I
glad we got it fixed.
I have fixed it on the stream.
Yeah.
And then I can get to it on the character sheet eventually.
Yeah. It's all good.
But yes. And I'm, Jahan.
Jahan.
Yeah, I also, my real name's Jahan Nagir, but I don't go by it because who needs it?
Ooh, you should do all 4. It sounds so
I
good
don't want
together.
it.
Jahan Giravesta Ebrahimi Navisi.
Hey, you said it all.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
sounding.
good.
It's a
That's
badass
really
name,
awesome.
right? Yeah. And I'm just stuck with Gary. So
Hey,
I go
you got
by
Gary
Casualty
Lee?
CDG. Because
Yeah.
yeah, but the only other Lee I know is just an asshole, and I would hate to be associated.
Same.
I also
If I was
know
Gary
Unfortunately.
Lee, it's just
I also know
yeah.
that.
Unfortunately,
I
What's
do
up,
know,
Penguin?
Gary. I do know.
Vengeance
You know
God
the-
and
you know the
Penguin are in the
struggle,
chat.
Shout out to
Yo, what's
Vengeance
up, Penguin?
God.
Vengeance God.
That's my husband.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
They said
Yeah.
something about they called you mommy, so I was unsure.
Okay, that's my daughter.
Oh!
Woo! Getting spicy already. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Oh, I love that.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it says the Fusion says, "Mommy, we
Yeah.
watched your video and we are
Yeah.
excited to watch the whole thing." Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Fusion. Oh,
That's
a great
my
name for
daughter.
a kid.
Yeah.
I love that. The Fusion.
That is
Yeah.
a good name. I am also a Fusion, so I relate to
I had
that.
a buddy. They called their kid the Squirm. The baby just never stopped moving, so they called their kid the Squirm all the time. And I
Aw.
loved that. Like the Squirm, yes.
That is such a great.
Can we? All right, I'll stop talking about babies and stop talking about the Squirm. Let's talk about what era we're gonna play in. This happens, guys.
I'm most interested in maybe like the 100 Years War because I don't think we actually have like media from it.
There's not a lot.
And so that would be really interesting to do that, especially if we all want to be from different nations. That's going to make for a really interesting kind of story. Or maybe the Korra era because, ooh, just choice fashions, like the descriptions, delicious. But yeah, those would
There's
be
a
the
really
two that
cool-
I would want to do.
I
There's a really
kinda
cool
agree with that.
rundown in the book on page 8. I don't know if you guys can flip to page 8 in the book, but there's a paragraph that describes like each thing in a nutshell.
Yeah,
And so
it's
for
really good if you
Kyoshi
need
era,
that,
it
yeah.
says the Shadow of Kyoshi. Shadow of Kyoshi. Play in the Kyoshi era if you want to fight battles against rogues and bandits and deal with government corruption as nations establish borders. Roku era. The covers the time right after Sozin became Fire Lord and before Roku married. Play in the Roku era if you want to deal with the tensions between the different nations and the trials of maintaining an uneasy peace. The 100 Years War, of course, focuses on the time just before Avatar Aang's awakening at the beginning of Avatar The Last Airbender. Play in the 100 Years War era if you want to rebel against unjust rule, protect the weak, and stand up to tyranny. The Aang era is set immediately after the events of the Imbalance Comics trilogy, sometime after the end of Avatar Last Airbender. Play in the Aang era if you want to help heal the world after the tragedies and help push it into a brighter future. And finally, the Korra era covers a period that takes place after the events of the Ruins of Empire comic trilogy, sometime after the end of Legend of Korra. Play in the Korra era if you want to deal with the repercussions of imperialism and play in a modernized era.
I would be down to play either the 100-Year War era, which also it's pretty much Star Wars A New Hope, kind of.
Mhm.
Or the Korra era, I'm also down for because it's pretty much inspired by I want to say from what I understand, Hong Kong during the British takeover.
Yeah.
I agree. Korra era sounds especially cool for that reason. I don't know. I feel like lately I'm in a place of like fighting imperialism, especially in. I mean, I always am, but like especially in the like 1900s era. I'll throw in the Kyoshi era too, just because like
Yeah, hell
find
yeah.
that fascinating. And, you know, Kyoshi's a baddie. Like, why not?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that if we do the 100-Year War, I probably will be feral. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably will be, not in a bad way, just like off the walls, because there's so many bad things happening.
That's fair.
I'm warning you now.
So I'm pretty sure the 100 Years War is going to get a sweep. I'm also going to say 100 Years War and Kyoshi era. And because Kyoshi era is fighting bandits and stuff and government corruption, and I like that, down with the man, you know? And then 100 Years War is the same thing. Protect the weak, stand up to tyranny. Down with the man. Someone cue the Rage Against the Machine.
Just for the sake of being different, I'm gonna make a push for the Aang era, just because I like the character I built for that era. But I built a character for every era, so I've got 5 characters ready to go.
Okay.
Whatever we end up doing, I'm
Okay.
happy. Yeah.
Over.
I didn't know what we were doing. I wanted to be prepared.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love that.
So you're just the Aang era, and I also my two favorites are Kyoshi and 100 Years, because they're the easiest to write in because they're kind of ill-defined and like removed from canon.
Mhm.
So it's a little. I'm not going to get hate mail, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
It was really hard to play in the Dune universe. When we played in Dune, there were lots of hard lines and lots of very tough things with houses where we were like, you know, you had to research before you could write. It was crazy. So
Well,
yeah,
and then-
this is nice.
You also have like the super nerds who are like,
Right.
actually, in that book, that character would not have done that one thing, and you're like, oh my god.
No,
That's probably
I wish the super nerds. I wish they would come over here and talk crap to us. I wish we had super nerds.
Can I also add something? I want to add something with the 100-Year War.
Mhm.
Do the 100-Year War. You know who the big bad is? Go Eero. It's the big bad.
Yeah,
Sure.
Uncle
Uncle
Iroh.
Iroh,
is
yeah.
the-
Oh god.
That's true. We
I
can
just
see
saw a
Iroh.
meme about that. I just saw a meme about that recently,
Oh.
and now
makes
it's
me
all coming
sad.
back to me.
He makes his tea with your blood. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it's our actions that sets him on his redemption arc.
That's true. Yeah.
You never know.
Oh,
Please.
sick.
So
I
hot,
like
don't do
Good
this.
brain.
Oh my god, I just realized we could do 100-Year War. We could also do Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds so with all the votes tallied, including my own. 100-Year War is gonna take it if that's okay with everybody.
That is okay.
Word.
Go for it.
So as we move into that sensitive time, how does everyone feel about genocide? Just gotta ask. This is the era where
Sorry.
it happens. So
I'm not giving my warning.
wanna
I said I'm
wanna
gonna be
very
feral.
clear,
So-
John. I want to be very clear. I don't love genocide as a
Fair.
person,
fair.
but in the story, my character probably won't like it either.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I just mean, is it gonna? Is
Yeah, no,
everyone
that's
okay
just-
with
no,
those
it's
story themes?
Yeah.
The character I was thinking of for this era is an airbender, so I kind of need it.
Good.
If that's cool with everyone.
If everyone's
Yeah.
okay with it, yeah, we won't shy away from it too much there. I just
Great.
have
I don't
to
need to
check.
talk about it a whole lot,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, backstory.
I love it. I love that we have a genocide character.
present.
That's great.
Oh my god.
It's good. Yeah, we're playing the Nickelodeon game, and we chose the time of the Holocaust. So good job, everybody.
Yeah.
No, I'm just- Yay, team!
They made the show.
They
They
did make
made the show.
Sorry.
They put it out
They're
there.
the
But
ones
it's
who decided.
because- But it's because we want to fight people. It's because we want to do good.
Because you want to stop genocide. Yeah, it's fair. It's
Right.
exactly. So the next thing that all you pick,
It's real easy to hate Nazis. It's easy to hate Nazis.
it is easy. To hate
Yeah.
Nazis. They're the perfect bad guy because you don't have to feel bad for killing them. So, anyways,
Nazis and zombies, man.
the next thing is your nation. Although you're gonna pick one, you don't have to pick it right now, but if you have one, shout it out. Otherwise, we'll move on. But Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, Air, Nomads, and the Water Tribe. This will be an important decision. Water Tribe.
Sorry.
No,
I have
yeah.
to do it every time.
That's fair. That's fair. And then after that, you pick your training. So your trainings are going to be how your character fights more or less. The options are going to be the obvious: water bending, earth bending, fire bending, air bending. But then also you can be like a Sokka with weapons, or you could be like an Asami with technology. And technology works in any era. It will, kind of form to you. So you don't have to worry about, there's no electric gauntlets. Why can it, technology will still work in the 100-Year War era. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet era for technology. But yeah, so those are the 5 base choices there, which are just your trainings. Those are not your playbooks. We'll get to that a little later. Anybody thinking anything particular?
I just had.
Malin's been
Go for it,
booed.
Michael. No. Go for it.
I was gonna say I already kind of knew what character I want to play. Earthbender.
Nice. Okay.
I did mention that my guy is an air nomad, so I'm coming from that.
Okay.
He's an airbender.
So obviously, kind of fleeing the genocide.
Yeah, that's yeah, like
Yeah.
he escaped and wasn't around for it taking place.
I have a
Yes.
question. Is this going to be taking place during the genocide of the Air Nation, or before it happened, or during?
Kind of during,
Time frame on
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it
this
was
feels
kind of the
pretty-
first thing they did during the 100-Year War, really.
Yeah.
This feels pretty like first 50, not even 50, the first like 10 to or so years into the 100.
Yeah, and
I could-
personally, I don't think it needs to be fresh, but during or after.
Yeah, maybe we can time it towards the end so that like there's that light at the end of the tunnel of the Avatar's return. But you know, we'll get more into that when we start talking about the story that you guys want, and when we start trying.
I do like the idea of the hopelessness of this being in the first 20 years or so of that 100 Years War.
It's gonna be a
when
rough
it's
time
all
now.
horrible and hopeless, because that makes us, you know, that if we ever have that problem morally, if we're good or bad, we shouldn't have that issue. There should be a pretty clear line of bad guys at that point in the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also say, kind
That's
of
fair.
like
That's a
nearing
fair
the
point.
end as well, because we also get that light at the end of the tunnel, that hope, kind of like once again, I'm digging back into the whole Star Wars analogy. Rebels handing off the Death Star plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
also
I,
They actually do have a
Go
moment like
ahead.
that in the show. Yeah.
I was thinking, I just kind of had like a moment of inspiration when you mentioned technology. It would actually be super fun to play a scientist, more importantly, an engineer building the war machines for the Fire Nation and kind of like running away from that. It's kind of like an Oppenheimer situation, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a good person. So maybe that would be super duper fun. And because like I'm trying to figure out what nation. It'd probably be like Earth Nation, because then the moment that it's like they're turning it on Bossing Say, or like it trying to take over some of the Earth Kingdom, is like whoa, let's no, that's a step too far, you know. But then there's a lot of morality that can be played into it, and especially like the balance of the game. So I think I might toy around with that.
That's a good
Also, I
idea.
think the lore for Fire Nation's airships, is that from a Earthbender scientist?
It's from an Earth Kingdom scientist. Yes, they
Yeah.
got the idea from the
Oh.
airships from the Earth tribe that took over the air temples and were flying using the air currents. Yeah. Very true.
I'm tempted. I'm not sure to say. I'm tempted to go non-bender and go with weapons.
Oh,
And maybe being a spy or something like that, like someone who has to like infiltrate like the Fire Nation's bases.
That's sick.
That's my kind of first thought. Nation, still undecided. Because part of me was like, is she tied to the Kyoshi warriors and like that whole thing? But maybe.
That's definitely a possibility. No, that's cool. I like that a lot. That's good.
Okay.
We're cooking with gas here, so that's good.
do have I want my character to have like ties to definitely the Daishi.
Mm.
The
The secret
Dai Li.
police.
the
Yeah.
Dai
Dai
Li,
Li.
yeah.
Dai Li, 'cause I like the idea of the whole secret police thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're fucking terrifying.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad we didn't do the Aang era that I was requesting then, because I was gonna do someone who was like the son of a Dai Li agent who had been lied to his whole life because dad's
Oh.
like, oh, I work at the bank, you know.
You
Well,
got
there's-
gaslit by
I'm
your
really
Lord.
excited.
wife.
That's my way of saying I'm really excited for your character, Michael.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been
With characters having inherent beef like that, that starts for great story. That's great kindling.
Okay, that's
Um,
good stuff.
I'm thinking Foggy Swamp Waterbender.
Nice.
nice.
I love you.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Thank you.
Uh,
I mean,
I was looking through the book beforehand. I was trying to figure out how I was going to be a bloodbender, and this is how I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
Good. So I was like, if I don't do weapons, someone has to bring water representation in here, and I'm glad that you did it.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be a big spooky boy who tries to move people with their blood. So I gotta get a few levels under my belt to get there, but that's where we're headed.
Love it.
Hell yeah. No, I mean, that's aspiring bloodbender, swampbender, aspiring bloodbender. That's a good start there.
Yeah,
Who I
for
think
those
I would be-
situations when you can't find water, just make your own.
Mhm.
Who I'd like to think I would be in this world. In the swamps. Learning how to bend blood.
Absolutely. All
That
good.
voodoo
I'm
down
excited
there.
for this game already. You all seem to have it, so that's very good. While you guys continue to brainstorm, we'll continue on. Sounds like everybody had like some sort of idea, so that's good. That's a good start. The next page is talk about safety tools, lines and veils, X cards. Yeah, if anything's ever, if I like step over a line or anyone does, like you just go like this, like we'll put a kibosh on it. I've only ever had to stop the stream like once and be like, hey,
Whoa.
can't do that. But just I'm here to protect you all, so like that. Don't feel weird about it. The world of Avatar. I don't think we know about Avatar. We would go over that if we were doing a review, but we don't need to do that now. Let's see.
So can I mention something like I've seen back when it was airing Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I have not seen Korra. So I'm a little glad.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're doing this. Yeah, for sure.
yay, we're less spoiler territory for everyone.
Mhm.
I've seen
That's
all
good.
of it a lot because I have a problem.
It's such a good show.
It is.
It's one of the few shows that I'm like everyone needs to watch because of the way that they deal with things. It's like relatable for kids, but then for the adults, it's like so enjoyable. It's kind of like
very-
Steven Universe in that way.
Steven. Yeah. Or Adventure Time, or
Mhm.
Gravity Falls. Yeah, it's got that depth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do
Also
believe
love-
Last Airbender and Korra will stand the test of time. Also,
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think they're timeless. We'll see.
I mean, it's been roughly 20 years.
Jeez,
Oh my
It
God.
came out,
don't
it came
say
out when I was
that.
in fourth. I was in fourth grade when it came out. So yeah, roughly 20 years.
20 years ago. What grade?
And I-
I was in junior high.
I was like,
Oh.
I think my back just cracked. Give me a moment.
And I also really love how Avatar: The Last Airbender pretty much uses the different eras of Avatar: The Last Airbender is also the different era of Chinese history and lore.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool to see for sure. It's such a unique show. No, my cabbages. Sorry, I'm looking through. So
Yes, he has to appear somewhere.
his descendant.
Yeah.
Ancestor.
His ancestor. His ancestor is trying to domesticate cabbages. And he can't quite get it right.
The wild cabbage.
Like I got a new vegetable for you guys. You're gonna
I
love
call
it.
it
Freak you out.
cabbage.
cabbage.
It's pronounced cabbage. Actually, we've all been saying it wrong.
Awful.
I don't know everyone's roleplay experience. Have all of you played role-playing games before? I take it. Okay, so have you played like
Powered by
Powered by the
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse kind of style games, where it's more
No.
narrative. Okay, so this is a first for Kevin.
Well, Powered by the Apocalypse. I think it's a different system. I've done Kids on Brooms, kind of.
Kids on Brooms.
And
I
that was-
haven't played it, so I don't know what kind of system. But is
Yeah,
it more of a
it's-
narrative system?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay,
It
so
really
you're familiar
is.
kind of with how this is gonna go.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
It was like I played it with a group of people who are really into, like Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, and man, me trying to reshape that game to suit that kind of their needs. It was challenging. Yeah, I know you're shaking your head. We've talked about it in person.
Yeah.
How- yeah.
It's not. It's a great system though. It's a great narrative system.
Mhm.
But it still has a little bit of crunch. So if you're into the crunch, you can still kind of vibe with it, but
Yeah,
not.
so I was just like trying to find ways to enhance the crunchy bits and
I-
tried to come up with a combat system for it. And
I've gone on record with
Kinda
John before. I like narrative systems, and of them all, PBTA might be my least favorite narrative system.
Oh.
But we've played it every time they reskin it. It's totally different, and sort of the actions remain the same. I don't particularly like the action economy and the actions and descriptions and stuff, but I do love a narrative game. So some of the crunch in this game I don't particularly like. I think a narrative game should almost be totally hands off. Like, okay, cool, tell your story, have fun, get after it. So narrative systems that have rules are weird for me.
I'm excited that I don't have to roll. But sometimes that's kind of tricky to run too. But yeah, so this uses moves and dice. You guys all sound like you're familiar with moves in PBT style games. Your playbooks give you different moves that you can use to accomplish tasks, and they'll give you various bonuses. There are some differences in this system to other PBTAs. Namely, like how you make your character. You have a series of like opposing ideals that you're trying to maintain balance with, which is what kind of gives this uniqueness to it. I'm trying to get so the core elements. So there's a fatigue track. Every companion has a fatigue track with 5 boxes. When you mark fatigue, it represents getting physically, mentally, and or emotionally tired, stressed, and worn down. Once you've marked all 5 boxes, you're on your way, the verge of collapsing or passing out. Nearly everything risky you do is difficult and might put you out of action. So fatigue is a simple short-term cost that has big impact on your character when it overwhelms them. So this is like this. There's no health. This is it. Like if someone's mean to you, it can hurt you just as much as being struck. Which I like that. That's interesting. And kind of true. We're all
very
emotional
true.
creatures.
I'd rather have somebody take a swing than say mean things to me, man. Those mean things are gonna eat at me for weeks. I got that bad anxiety. You take a swing and I'll be okay after a couple of hours.
Fair.
Can I just say this? Emotional damage!
There you go.
Yes, you may.
Yeah, you can do that in this game. And then you can clear fatigue. You can always guide and comfort other PCs, and they can guide and comfort you too. So, like, having conversations, doing activities together can help you reclaim this stuff. Doing things like sleeping, walking, talking about your problems, all kinds of stuff. So, you need food and water to get the benefits of rest, that kind of stuff. So, it's just pretty basic stuff there. There are also conditions, like afraid, angry, guilty, insecure, and troubled. These are specific conditions. They're not random. It's like a finite list of things, and they affect different stats differently, I guess. So that's kind of the ebb and flow of damage and how you're going to be affected during the game. Balance is the important part, though. So every companion has a balance track that consists of 2 principles, core beliefs or ideals your character wrestles with throughout the adventure. These principles are opposed, but not directly. They represent different ways of thinking about the world and your character's problems, and rarely boil down to simple opposites. For example, a character whose first principle is self-reliance likely won't have a contending principle that makes them rely on others. Instead, they might have something like trust, representing the degree to which they are willing to believe that other people can take care of themselves. So that's kind of how you're going to build out your character, with these like opposing ideals. You can get out of balance during the game, and it can change your principles. So a lot of the like damage and struggle in this game is going to force character growth, which I love. So yeah, you track how you feel about your principles on the balance track, both your current balance and your center, the point to which you return to when you have time or rest. Your balance may shift as a result of moves, or as a result of an NPC consciously or unconsciously shifting your balance towards a principle by how they speak and behave towards you. But your character's balance returns to the center over time. So yeah, your center can like move towards one side, towards self-reliance, because someone, profounds the benefits of self-reliance to you, and then you'll return to that center until it gradually moves back over time. We'll skip a little bit of this. I'm trying to be brief and just give you a basic understanding. Shifting your balance. When told to shift your balance toward one principle or the other, you move your balance, however you're tracking it, toward that end of the track where the principle is written. So that's kind of self-explanatory. Losing your balance, I guess, is the more important part. If a shift takes you over the edge past the end of your track, you lose your balance. Characters who lose their balance, including NPCs, lose control of their powers, act out in accordance with their principles, or even give in to their opposition. They regain control after they have some time to recover, but they must shift their center as a result of the experience. You can never choose to shift your balance off the edge of the track and lose your balance. But several moves, including resisting shifting your balance, allow the GM or other players to shift your balance up. So that's going to be an ongoing struggle in this game. Not losing yourself to the world, I guess. So it's like life. It's an interesting thing to have in an escapism, but hey, it is fun. It's fun when you like to hurt yourself emotionally, I guess. So bending.
Emo.
Hey, what can I say? Bending is probably a part that a lot of people are very interested in this game. In Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra's, most of the heroes are benders, capable of amazing feats. The ones who aren't benders have incredible mastery of weapons and technology. But regardless of those bending prowesses or other fantastic abilities, the story of Avatar Legends aren't really about the companions bending. Instead, the characters use their bending to go on adventures, service borders, and that kind of thing. Bending in Avatar Legends works the same way. You use it constantly, but it's not your story. All of your trainings, including bendings, are tools that your characters use to get stuff done. So it's just a tool. It's not, there's no great system here for like, I have to do this to conjure a water wall. That's not the game. You just kind of say you did it, and then we see how it impacted the world morally. Which is, I like
morally.
But yeah, so I'm just going. When we start this game in 2 weeks, like, I don't expect everyone to just know how to play and understand everything. Well, you can ask questions. We'll learn and teach during the game, all the way through. Like, up until the 10th episode, you can ask questions. It's not a problem. So never feel like you don't know enough. We're all learning here. This is a teaching channel, so,
And we play a bunch of different systems. That's the whole point. So stopping and pausing and explaining something, that works for our style, for our format. It works for the viewers so they understand. So never be afraid to pause and ask questions. Just bring it.
And I run between 2 or 3 different systems on stream every week, so I get confused sometimes. So, sometimes I'll use a rule from the wrong game. So just, we're all we're all friends here, and no one's here to judge anyone's abilities. We're here to have fun. And then we're starting the game. We're preparing to play. We're choosing. Oh yeah, so this is where we already kind of started doing this stuff. We're preparing to play. We're choosing an era, which we're gonna play in the good old 100-Year War, because we're depressed, I guess.
Yeah, those were the passable old days.
Setting expectations. The story of Avatar Legends range from goofy and fun, my cabbages, that's the quote that they use there, to serious and dark, like Avatar Kuruk's battle against dark spirits in the Kyoshi novels.
Michael hasn't seen it.
Oh no, don't worry,
spoilers.
it's in the books. It's in the books.
Michael, have you read the books?
Yes.
Oh, you read the books?
Alright,
Talking about the comics?
No, the Kyoshi books.
no, talking about the rule book.
Oh, the rule book, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can nudge the tone, but so this is where we're gonna talk about tone, which we already kind of started talking about. Everyone's okay with genocide. So we're gonna toe that line of dark, but usually there's gonna be some humor mixed in there. But yeah, let me see. Where do we need to pick up this? I feel like we already kind of covered a lot of this, so we could probably get closer.
They're on, because I know a lot of these powered by apocalypse systems. You also have relationship charts. Are we going to be doing like a relationship chart as well?
There might be something like that here. I think that you have bonds or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Jahan, the way I would recommend starting, that's what I was saying earlier, is to start with the playbooks. Because once everybody gets playbooks in their hands, then it's easier to see what backgrounds, what demeanors, where the stats go, and what it means when you're shifting your focus and all that. You're shifting your balance.
Yeah.
So, playbooks is that's the spot to start.
Yeah.
And I went through the playbooks. I was reading through them. You guys know I kind of want to be a bloodbendy guy. So I'm going with the Rogue playbook. That one kind of called to me.
Yeah,
And
I
that
was
friendship on one side and survival on the other. So it's like, am I more going to survive for myself, or am I willing to give that up and fight for my friends also? So those will be the two balances that my character will be fighting over.
I'm really glad you explained that, Gary, because the way I interpreted Rogue, it's like he's a, plucky rule breaker, and I was like, bloodbending is one hell of a rule to break.
yeah.
Like, that's...
Oh no!
I just gotta be me.
In the swamps, that's not a rule. We don't worry about rules in the swamp.
By lighthearted rule breaker, I mean I break the taboos of God.
Yeah.
So it is cool after you pick your playbook, it shows you sort of inspiration things for your character, like I was saying, your background, your demeanor, which I think everybody. Do we all get the same demeanors to choose from, or is that different based on your playbook?
I think it's different.
I think it's different,
I think so too. So that stuff will help inform your character.
Also, for those following
They
with
are
the book,
different.
Page 166, there's a small summary of each of the different core books, the core playbooks.
Oh, weird. There's one on 112 too. Interesting. I guess they talk about it multiple times.
They just
There's
really
a
want
lot
to
of
make sure.
That's good. But yeah, we can go over them real quick. It is so they're not alphabetical order. Look at that. The Adamant.
That's one I wanted to do.
The Adamant will fix the world, even if it means breaking all the rules. Play the Adamant if you want to contend with what doing right means in a complicated world. So
Yeah, because
that's fun.
I kind of feel like if I'm playing like the Oppenheimer type scientist, it's like, asking ourselves, just because we can, should we? And so I think that will really help with the character interactions there too, especially
sounds like a perfect pick for what you're going.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be the Adamant.
Sounds good. After that, it's the Bold. The Bold fights to live up to their self-image and earn others' trust and confidence. Play the Bold if you want to build your reputation and leadership skills. The Guardian defends someone close to them, Steadfast and watchful, play the Guardian if you want to be the first to see danger coming and the last line of defense. Very cool. The Hammer is strong, tough, and looking for a deserving face to punch. Play the Hammer if you want to grapple with what force can and can't solve. I like that phrasing. The Icon comes from an ancient tradition and inherits some serious standards to live up to. Play the Icon if you want to be torn between your heart and your duty. The Idealist has a past full of suffering and tragedy that strengthen their beliefs. Play the Idealist if you want to awaken the hope in everyone around you. The Pillar is an experienced team player and a leader of a famous group of warriors. Play the Pillar if you want to be a savvy tactician who binds the team together. The Prodigy not only excels at their training, but has taken it even beyond their master's teachings. Play the Prodigy if you want to stretch the limits of your training and abilities. The Rogue is a rule breaker, a joker, a delinquent, a figure on the fringes who snipes at the player, the people in charge. Play the Rogue if you like the idea of being a troublemaker. And then the Successor comes from a powerful tarnished lineage. Play the Successor if you want to struggle against your lineage as it threatens to draw you in. So those are the choices. Sounds like we have an Adamant. And Gary, you think Rogue? Rogue?
Yes, yeah, I was looking at Rogue, and then especially after I clicked on it and looked at the different types of personality, this character started coming together for me.
Good.
Being from the wilderness and having a joking demeanor, and then I had to pick 4 bad habits. And the way that this particular character sheet works is that if I do a bad habit on my own, it is survival. And if I get a friend to do one of those bad habits with me, it's friendship. So I'm the guy who's trying to get us in trouble. And I'm about it. I'm totally about it.
What's everyone else thinking? Someone in the chat asked a good question. So Penguin asked, does choosing your air restrict your or enhance your bending choices? Like, does metal bending not come around until chorus time? That kind of stuff. My answer to that is technically no. I don't see anything in this book that limits those kinds of choices. But I guess, like, if you want to try to play true to the games, that could be a thing. Maybe a metal bender of the past doesn't really realize what they're doing is special. I don't know. There are workarounds for sure.
Yeah, I remember there's an excerpt in the book about, like, if you're doing technology in the Kyoshi era, like, you're not going to have an electric gauntlet, but there's still what is the innovative technology of that era.
Yeah.
So whether you call it a limitation or not is up to you, but
like, I could definitely see in the Kyoshi era, get the lightning gauntlet, stick some electric eels in a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not going to be happy about it, but it works.
What if you're wrong? What if they are happy about it? What if eels only ever wanted to be in a glove?
I mean, if we go by another game, another stream that we do here on Fresh Out the Box, that's basically what my character Max does in Modern Age. Shit rigs everything.
That's very true.
I feel like I should do Prodigy. I was between that and Guardian, but I was like, should I be... I don't want to be the brain cell of the group in the way that, like, sometimes it kind of happens. Though I could still see that happening, but I'm kind of like, what do I want to wrestle with, basically, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Those are both good choices for the character idea that you gave.
Yeah.
Kevin, what are you wrestling with there?
well, is everybody else? We haven't Adam in the road, but are the rest of us iffy on what to pick?
I have
Yeah,
three. I'm trying to decide between 3 different ones right now.
Okay. I'm so sorry. This is the first time I've seen your name out loud.
Jahan.
Jahan. I'm overthinking it. Jahan, if you'd like, I've got my main spirit man, Wan Shi Tan's Guide to Everything right here. And I'm happy to read the other 4 because I was struggling for mine as well. And
Go
it's
ahead,
one
yeah,
of
that's
these.
fine. They're on the character sheet
Okay.
anyways, I think.
Actually, one of them is actually from the book that I'm trying to decide. The 3 I'm trying to decide is either from the core book, The Idealist, or The Pillar, or from that book, The Razor.
I love me the Razor. That, like I said, I was
You mean this book?
really leaning towards that.
So
yeah,
pretty.
you got it. Do you want to do it?
No, you can do it.
Okay.
It would be my
All right.
honor to let you do it.
I've called dibs on one of these. That's my price.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I
okay,
think
so
that's fair.
the destined
You bought the
are
book.
known to have some important, incredible fate before them. But exactly what that fate is, when it will come for them, and how it will play out, all remain to be seen. Their balanced principles are patience versus determination. The elder have seen much, been to many places, and done much. Now esteemed and successful, they have much to teach. But they also have much wisdom to see that they have much to learn. They also have the wisdom to see that they have much to learn. Their balanced principles are experience versus humility. The foundling, dibs, they are the inheritor of 2 traditions, 2 cultures, 2 frameworks of training and philosophies. They are constantly trying to represent the best of both, and sometimes to combine them into something new. Their balanced principles are unity versus heritage. And then, like the Razor, they were raised to be a weapon, a tool for their masters to use against enemies. But they have seen a better way forward, and now seek to make up for the terrible things they did and what they were taught to do. Their balanced principles are control versus connection.
Oh, there's still one more. There's still one more.
What?
Read 3.
I read all 4.
The teacher one.
That's the elder.
That's elder.
Elder.
I believe that's the elder. I don't. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the elder have seen much, been to many places, done much. Now seem successful. They have much to teach, but they also have the wisdom to see they have much to learn. I think that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, because that's another one I was also thinking of. But
Can I hear what we're allowed to know about your character, just like so far?
for me or Kevin.
Both. Y'all have like the most like, yeah, I came here with a plan.
Kevin, do you want to start off, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
All right. My idea for my character is, oh god,
I got
ties
it.
to the.
Do you need to think it over? Because your thing is, if you're tied to the dead lead, there's got to be secrecy involved. So I don't know how much you can divulge.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get that, 'cause
it's little,
Exactly.
only as much as you want to divulge.
Okay, so in the Roku era, I think I can get away with saying this. In the Roku era, there were a faction of airbenders that were trying to help out the Fire Nation in teaching them like meditation and mindfulness and stuff.
Restraint.
I mean, if you want to be true about it. But so there's this group of airbenders that were working in the Fire Nation, and there was also a group called the Winds, the Guiding Winds, that like opposed all this and kept trying to sabotage everything that happened. But yeah, there was the Air Nomads philosophy growing. Their growing influence in the Fire Nation had led to Fire Nation citizens building a place to teach Air Nomad culture in the Fire Nation. The center was founded by a select group of Fire Nation nobles who embraced Air Nomad teachings and pushed for a partnership between both nations. This was the Fire and Air Center for Learning. So, yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and my character has roots to that organization. So when stuff hits the fan, they're already in the Fire Nation. And the genocide goes down, and now they're like,
Oh, man,
Well, are we
that's really
doing
in the invading country.
a real Jedi temple type of situation.
Mhm.
how are we doing closer to Aang's appearance? Because it'd be
That
pretty
don't matter
old.
to me.
Okay.
Yeah, my character. I am willing to like. I just had like a theme I really wanted to touch on, and things I
Okay.
wanted to do with the whole balance thing. But like, if I need to make this person ancient, it's fine with me.
Yeah, we can push it either way. Being all the way at the end could be fun, but being towards the beginning or middle, that's a very untouched and interesting period. So, and it's up for discussion.
Year two.
Yeah,
Year
like,
two.
I mean,
Year two.
I'm not saying my character like was a founding member or anything, but you know, like their parent or their monk who was their mentor was, and so they just like were living there.
Okay.
But I really like that because that touches on your playbook of the duality of the two cultures, the two heritages, and like the idea of fire needing air to survive. And then you can have this guilt of like, oh my God, did I give them, you know, the tools to destroy my people? Like, oh, so delicious. I love it.
Thank you.
It's very good. Very, very good.
I actually want to change my nationality.
Oh.
I want to be
I wanna
Fire
change mine
Nation.
every day.
Nice.
Oh, you want to be a Fire Nation engineer?
I want to be a Fire Nation engineer, but I'm on the lam from the military.
Nice.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And Kevin,
I
you and
know
I could maybe you're the reason why I saw a reason. It was like, oh, this is bad. So,
I know I said this before, but seriously, this is Rogue One. This is Rogue One
Yeah.
Avatar 5.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's happening.
God, I wish I knew anything about Rogue One, so I can be
watch the
there with
movie.
you.
Watch it.
You've got 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's your homework.
Don't do
Okay.
it. Don't watch it.
Oh no.
I enjoyed it. I liked
That's
it.
good.
It's okay. Gary's the only person that didn't like it.
Yeah.
I would argue that it's.
And if you couldn't tell,
What?
go ahead, Jahan.
Oh, I would argue that it's one of the best pieces of Star Wars that there is, but you know,
What?
I was gonna say if you couldn't tell yet, I don't like anything, so I'll just shit on it. I don't like it. You don't have to watch it. I don't like it. You can skip it. It's fine. You've come this far in your life, and you're totally fine, right?
Like I said before, I am trying to decide between, was it the Idealist, the Pillar, or the Razor? As I said before, my character has ties to that secret police thing.
Right.
Now there's something else.
Mm-hmm.
They're also kind of on a lamb, but they've been on a lamb for a while already.
I think I bookmarked most of those.
The
Maybe I can-
Idealist, the Pillar, or what was the other one?
The Razor.
It's a professional wrestler. Razor Ramon. No, I'm just kidding.
Racer. I feel like without knowing anything, I mean, I guess like what's the spoiler-free version of like the energy you want to kind of like meet the group with? Because that'll be the first thing we know about you, right? Is like this is
He
the
is going to be like the most positive and happy-go-lucky
Oh my
person you have ever met.
God,
Oh,
incredible.
I feel
Of
like
course.
that's Idealist then.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because you're giving me very
Yes.
like MK Ultra.
If Michael, if I may, because I was really liking the Razor as well, and I was gonna tie it to a Daily person, ish, you know. And the reason I like the Razor is because that one to me is like the person with the trust issues and who needs to work on that. If you want to do that, great. But when I hear like happy-go-lucky, I think that's the Idealist. Like they're coming from tragedy, but they just won't
it's
let
one of
that
those-
define them.
It's one of those things where there's one side and there's another side to the character.
Yeah.
Front side is happy-go-lucky, but I will say a lot of guilt. Oh my god,
Yeah.
a lot of guilt.
Those eyes are like, like the empty anime eyes, where they like
Yeah.
the shading is different. You're like smiling, but
It's like
it's all empty.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I think you can keep your guilt. I'm not going to take that from you. I'm wearing a Batman shirt because Shadow works, so like, I get this. I think what it
Batman
comes
with
down to is
Shadow
how does your character want to interact with others, or fail to interact with others. So the pillar is the person who's trying to be super supportive, but also take charge. The idealist is the person who's like trying to see the better of everyone, like give them the benefit of the doubt, forgive and forget, combat with, do something about it.
It's kind of like, do you
Like,
want to like be in the front or in the back of the group? You know, like like do you want to lead?
And I think the Razor wants to be off to the side.
I mean, I definitely think that we'll need a someone who can talk to people.
Word.
Because right now, it's shaping up to be a wee bit antisocial.
I was gonna say, if you want to go from Avatar characters, I guess my character's a mix of Uncle Iroh and Sokka.
And
Combine those two characters together.
In Sokka?
Are you Sokka? Are you
Sokka.
trying to like? Do you believe that the system can be fixed, or are you like tear this bitch down?
That's a
Not
great
to get too
question.
philosophical, but you know.
This game's pretty philosophical. It's okay.
Yeah. Because I can be idealist, especially with the fact that like the first line I see is like when you spend time talking to the locals about about their problems, you talking to feds? like you know, like do you believe in like a future for the system?
I think also for this group build that we kind of have right now, I do agree the fact that we do kind of need a face character to talk to.
Yeah.
Normies.
Yeah.
I think the pillar actually would be better.
Because I think I'll try to be there with you as far as talking to people goes, but I might be a little bit more.
I just don't want to be the only one that has to be that.
Oh
has
no
to
no!
talk.
I'll be because I was gonna ask like what says like I be lying, like what sheet says like. You know, I think that the biggest thing is like her being able to like put on a disguise and go do something, and I'm not sure what sheet to go with for like she be lying.
Honestly, I was kind of thinking the Razor for your character since you wanted to do like a weapons focus.
Yeah.
Because it kind of sounds like, you know, you were built to be this weapon and you might just be like, oh, no, I'm not about that anymore. But it's still like so instilled in you that when push comes to shove, you're like, you know?
Right, like I kind of want to relax.
Yeah, but then you keep running into things, you know? It's kind of like the whole Firefly thing of like, why can't it ever go smooth, you know? And like, you have to kind of revert back to the old ways.
Yeah, because I think her thing is... Because I figure that she was probably came from a resistance group and then was like, either you're like Fire Nation passing or something or other that like you're in, we're gonna get you in. So she's probably like dumb efficient, but I think again that kind of like being it's like so many of my other characters where it's like I have a very good set of skills, but then ask me to like just watch TV with you and I'm like unable to do that.
The Razor does sound like it's really good for you and Naya.
Okay.
I can also see you, depending on how you want to play this, you could also be a hammer. I
That's what I thought about that too.
I don't know how
That's
aggressive.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know how aggressive you want to be. I feel like the Razor is a little more reserved, but like a little more cutthroat. You know what I mean? And then the hammer is a little more barbarian-ish.
I would
Boulder.
I would also like to throw in. I think the icon could also work because if they're from a former resistance group or a former group of organization, the icon can work for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the little play this character if you want to this, and
Oh
see
yeah,
if
that
helps
helps.
you, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So the icon, play the icon if you want to be torn between your heart and your duty. The hammer, if you want to grapple between... No. The hammer, if you want to grapple with what force can and cannot solve. And the razor is if you want to fight for a path to redemption.
Then I think...
What does your
yeah,
character want?
I think the icon then, based off of that, because I think she's a little more cold than the hammer's like hot, and she's not necessarily... And she's not... It's not like her organization is like a big bad. They're just intense and trained child soldiers.
Hey, it's
And
war,
sometimes you're
baby.
torn between your heart and your duty. Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
picked
Cool.
such
Yeah.
a fun era in this child's game.
I know. So we're like a chill channel. Let's talk about war.
Super relaxed.
No, weird
Bonzu
chill.
put them-
I always say and do fucked up stuff when I'm running games. So like, this is right in my wheelhouse, but I don't want to force it on anybody.
I love the name Bonzu Pippin Paddle. Fuck. Bonzu Pippin Paddle Piscop. I have a name for one of my moves that says dress up. Exactly what I want it. Dress up and trick people.
Oh, it's that's the name
perfect.
that they gave when they were entering
Right.
the city of Omashu.
Right.
Oh.
my
Yeah.
God.
That was the
Yes.
fake name
Oh my
Sokka
God.
gave, and then what
And
was
then
her name?
Aang elaborated on it, I believe.
No, his sister
Yeah.
Katara elaborated.
Katara.
Oh my gosh.
She like nailed it. She
Are we-
nailed the last. It was really good. It was good stuff.
Are we going to name our characters now?
Yeah, you can name your characters.
Ooh.
You can name your characters
Oh.
now or whatever. I know names
That's
are
gonna
tricky.
take me a while.
Yeah.
Names are hard.
I just got
Yeah,
here.
so I was
See,
looking
now
at
you've
the
got
different,
me
like,
thinking.
types of names for swamp people, and some of them are Chinese and some of them are Vietnamese, but I thought it would be good to go with a swamp plant name. There was a character named Fern on the show, so I'm gonna be Duckweed.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that.
I do like that. It's good. It's good.
Also, I kind of take offense that the Vietnamese names are with the swamp people being half Vietnamese. There's so much more to us than swampy jungle.
Oh,
Man,
Come
no.
And John and I are both originally from Houston, so I'm like, man, where are the names like Jethro and Jeb? Like that, I was gonna
Right?
be Jeb Havershaw, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh
That's
no,
where my mom's
I
people
better
are
not
from.
be Jeb Havershaw.
It's
Aren't
okay.
like the swamp names in this show like that? Aren't they like
They are kind of like that. Yeah, they're kind of hillbilly
They're like-
names.
Clem and
Yeah.
Bub? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like duckweed rides that line. It's right in the middle.
It's
It is a
perfect.
real plant. but
Duckweed's
it's also nice and
Yeah.
it's a little country.
Yeah,
Well,
Malin,
you can
I
give
feel I feel you're paid, Malin. Like I know full damn well my name is probably with the Sandbenders, so that's I understand.
Yeah. But one way you could kind of give duckweed like the Asian flair, you could spell it DUC. So it kind of has like a little Asian flair, but it's good. I like it.
I
actually like
kind of
that.
have a tradition on this channel of naming my characters some kind of variation of Max.
Nice.
Because
What?
I view the games on this channel as a multiverse, and I play the same character just in different universes.
Oh my god. Beautiful.
And
Love it.
mine is, let's see here, wrote down here, Ma KC, which is a Chinese, basically the Chinese version of Max.
I'm geeked.
Love that.
I'm
It's
beautiful.
amazing.
It's good. Yeah, how you spell that? Mr. Capel?
Has some special characters. It's MA. There's a little V on top of the A. Space. K. E with a little accent. And then S and space SI with a little accent above the I.
You spelling it makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
Because it just the shit posting comes full circle.
How do you pronounce that?
Ma KC.
Makesi?
Makisi.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So I went to a name generator for Fire Nation names, and one of them was just sure. I'm like,
No.
okay, no.
You should probably make your name since because of your backstory. You should probably be unsure.
Yeah,
Damn.
exactly.
Not
Rip.
sure.
Not sure.
Actually, let me just look up, like, what is that translated? No, I'm joking.
What is your name? Not sure. Not sure.
Oh yeah,
Not sure.
Idiocracy.
Oh.
Forgot about that. It's pretty funny.
Oh.
But yeah, it sounds like everyone has their basics. So now that we have our playbooks, you guys are working on names.
Do you need my name? No.
Concepts.
Kevin.
Name.
Kevin, do you have a name?
I like
I do.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
what you got?
Because I think airbenders only have the one name, so this is easy. I'm gonna go with Ledi, Ledi, named after Ledi Sayadaw, who revived Buddhism during the British occupation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Nice.
Nice.
It is
That was
nice.
easy.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll be the last one to name mine. I'm telling you right now. It's gonna be a special big reveal.
Take all the time you need. Not a problem. You can
Yeah.
tell me. Just you have 2 weeks. You're good.
Yeah, that's how long it's gonna
Alright.
take.
I think I hit on a name that just sounds good. So it'd be Sho Ulami.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so last name gets pronounced first. And then Ulami is Ulami.
Okay. And it's Shu, Sho.
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 Yeah.
It sounds
Sho
really cool
Ulami.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Very.
I was
very
thinking
cool.
about this. Did my character? I don't know if we can hit character ties. But I was like, okay, like you're escaping the Fire Nation. I'm like pretending to be a Fire Nation girly. Did I like help you escape? And we're kind of like
Maybe.
in an unwitting buddy cop situation until we meet the group.
What we did is we switched clothes because I was
Right.
like, I do not want to be associated. So like, here, just take my closet.
So it's
There we go.
so like I mean if we're going with World War II inspirations here, I mean she's a defecting scientist and you're a spy trying to get her out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would absolutely make sense that
Nice.
you helped me get out. Maybe we went out on Duckweed's boat. That's how we got out.
Citizen, we
boy,
have to
you would've had
commandeer
to-
your boat.
You guys were so desperate if you had to get out on my boat. Oh my god.
Probably.
This is the last boat that you came to, and you knew they were going to say no like all the rest, and I didn't.
Yeah.
You wish.
You're
you wish.
you're their Han Solo. You're their Han Solo.
It's the worst.
No, that,
I know I
this is
keep using
perfect.
Star Wars analogies, but this is just working. So I'm gonna
perfect.
keep at it.
No, it's okay.
I mean Star Wars is every story, so
It's also been around for like what 50, 60 years at this point. I mean,
Jesus.
they've made enough stories and enough offshoots that you could reference it into anything.
Yeah.
so there's the bending and stuff next, and then backgrounds. So, who is your character and where did they come from before getting caught up in the inciting incident of the campaign? Your background explains your character's origins and training, giving your character a backstory that goes beyond what you've already established through the inciting incident.
Wilderness.
Yeah, that's fair. So the choices are military, monastic, outlaw, privileged, urban, and wilderness.
I'm doing military because that just makes the
Makes
most
sense.
sense. I wasn't necessarily in the military, but
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Actually, I'm going military as well.
I'd probably be either outlaw or monastic, depending on what kind of rebel group was raising me.
Those are both good calls.
Nice.
I'm glad you feel that way because I'm torn between those as well. I think it depends on as we're fleshing out the group dynamic and like the origin story for the whole team. I'm starting to realize that I might need to adjust things like my background and even my bending style to make it work because like there's no way a practicing airbender would be able to get away living in the Fire Nation like openly.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with you being a practicing because I feel
Yeah,
like you're because
that's
you said you're a
awesome.
foundling, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
I have
feel
a
like-
solve for it.
Yeah.
It just I want to make sure it's not too complicated for like the to get us to the tavern, so to speak.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's awesome.
I love having
Okay.
a character who has a target and playing with that as a party and maybe having to deal with that seems like a great plot point to me.
Okay.
I agree.
Monastic
Yeah,
it
100%. It's fantastic. Yeah. So you're monastic, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, and it gives us a person to like protect, like immediately. You know, like put all of our other shit behind us and be like, his entire people are gone. Like, no,
Be
you're
nice to
precious.
him.
Yeah,
yeah, be
precious
nice.
little package.
I have a question. I mean, this probably doesn't have an answer yet, but did he go? Because oftentimes these people like that are put into like high, like birdcage positions, where they're like, no, like all of the people who just like killed everyone you cared about are just like patting your head, being like, no, 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 we love you because you gave us stuff, and look, everybody, everything is so fine and so great because we feed this person so well. Like, there's oftentimes that like caged bird scenario,
Oh
and I
my
can see
gosh.
that happening. Yeah, like I can see that happening
You're-
because like you helped start this school that killed your people in the end, and they're just like, oh my gosh, welcome
He's the good
back.
one.
Where were you?
So weird.
I will think on that.
Mm.
You're
That-
the propaganda. You're part of the
Yeah. That's
propaganda
awful.
machine.
I feel
Totally against your will to
You're-
totally
Oh, yeah.
disrespecting your heritage.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely
Right.
possible that
Right.
you were one that, you know, were like, hey, you know, the Fire Nation's not so bad. And then they started killing people.
And just
what I
like,
mean?
bro, like my face is on pamphlets.
Like, you didn't
What
know.
did you do?
You know, you didn't know.
Yeah,
what
this
you do
is
this?
I was gonna say
This is
Captain America
super
when he was the
sick.
propaganda Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you know, Captain America never was the propaganda Captain America for the
The
for Hydra,
Nazis.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, try not to.
Unless you want to go into the,
So, like,
the Hydra
this is-
bullshit.
This is super fucking cool and interesting, but I feel like it's a different story than the one.
Oh yeah, that
in
was
the
totally
Found
just say
Land.
like
I agree.
curiosity.
America's hands in World War II are completely clean.
all we did was kill Nazis at the right time exactly.
And 2 cities full of innocent people.
What?
yeah.
Oppenheimer.
Oh
are
no,
you
it's
doing
coming
here?
full circle. But
Yeah.
So y'all can think about it for a second. We are at the period
Yeah, I'm gonna.
of our stream where we take our break. This is the halfway
Okay.
point, so we're gonna take like a loose 5, so everyone can go to
Okay.
the bathroom.
Nice.
Hey, it's been a great.
9:30. It was 10:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain Time, and 7:30 Western Pacific time.
We have all four of
We
us.
have all 4 times.
So
We
we can all sound off.
An hour and a half into the stream, we take our break. So hey everyone, thanks for watching. We'll be back shortly. You've been a great crowd, and we'll see you here in a minute.
Perfect. That's-
Hey everybody, we're back with more Avatar action! Minus Gary. Gary disappeared on me. Where'd he go? Oh, his internet's being shitty. Okay, he'll be back. Hey everybody. Yeah, welcome back to Fresh Out the Box. And I'm still Johananon, and I'm still the Game Master.
This is what a completely disheartened face looks like. My just in and out right now. It says it's connected. It says I've got 5 bars, and then I'm gone.
Die.
He
He's
sinks
the
into the
winters.
swamplands that he's always in.
But yeah, so
Body the swamp.
we're gonna get back into it. We're gonna you don't have to finish all this tonight, as we're drawing to a close in the last half here. But just have an idea where we're gonna get ideas of what everyone wants, all that kind of stuff. After your background, which I know some of you are still picking, you're gonna want some kind of hometown, the place where you grew up, spent most of your life. Depending on the scope of the game, it might be where the story takes place. A place you've long since left in memory, or somewhat. So just kind of know where you're from. In general, we did pass something earlier that I wanted to circle back to, which I already kind of know what you guys are asking for with the scope of the game because of just what you guys have been saying. But so there's broad scope and there's narrow scope. You know, are you defending a town from bandits and stuff like every week, or are you guys, you know, doing global scale stuff? So that's broad scope versus narrow scope. And it sounds like you guys so far have been more of the broad scope, but unless all of your stories converge on one part of the world where you want to focus the game. But that's a discussion for everybody to be a part of. It's something to think about as we go forward. But I'm gonna keep it moving while you guys think.
I was gonna say, where is that on the sheet?
It's just
not
a question.
sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
'Cause
sure
I
that
think-
in 10 episodes that we need to go to every country. I don't think I need to see every country in 10 episodes.
That's fair. I don't want to do that anyways.
Yeah.
Sounds awful for me.
Remember that we're like walking most of the places.
Honestly, from... Alright, go ahead.
I was gonna say broad scope is really helpful when you're making your character, but as to like what we actually do, I think that's where having a more narrow scope is easier to kind of like move the story along. You know, that,
Yeah. From what everybody's been kind of throwing out the ideas and everything, this is starting to sound like a escape. We're escaping, kind of like a, escape from New York. We're escaping something.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, this is more,
I
this
know I have a
is-
lot of movie references, but I used to work at a video store.
Yeah, it's not necessarily it's not a journey to somewhere. It's a journey from something, and that's more what we're doing here. Which I like. I like that. But yeah, so more narrow scope. Okay, I'm taking notes.
I do have a question. For under demeanor,
Yeah, but that's the next part right here.
does on mine? I don't know if other people's sheets are different. One of them's listed critical. At me.
It
Yeah.
means that you're a critical personality, that,
Yeah.
you know,
You're
critical of
judgmental.
things
Yeah, you're
and-
judgmental. Yeah. So
But
demeanors.
yes, they are different for everybody.
Yeah, every playbook has different demeanors. So every playbook has 6 demeanors. Ways your character tends to behave in social situations or when they're under pressure. Choose one or more from the options listed on your playbook, or make up your own if your version of the character isn't covered there. Which it's fine to freestyle here, but come up with something so that like you can be held accountable.
This is when I totally started feeling this rogue character sheet that I picked. Because when I went to look for demeanor, joking and cynical are both on the list, and I was like, oh yeah, check, I'll take 2. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, we can take more than one.
You take more than one, and you can take ones that aren't on the list. You can make up your own if you don't feel like those fit you. This is just more of like, because, you know, in every TTRPG, there's kind of the social contract that everyone's kind of trying to have a consistent personality with their characters. So this is just kind of that bar to rise to.
I feel
Yeah, I
like
like that it's built into the character sheet, and it's sort of a way to keep you honest role playing to remind you from week to week, like, oh yeah, that's right. My hooks are that I'm also joking and cynical.
I'm not being cynical enough.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And I think it's cool that it's part of the character building. It's not just something that I write on there, and I'm like, look, I'm being honest to my character because I'm being an asshole. Like I told you, my character gets to be an asshole. I like that it's part of the character sheet to help you form your ideas and your goals. It's cool. Build in flavor.
Absolutely.
I feel like her background is leaning more towards something similar to like Jet's group, where it's like not especially formalized and basically run by like a lot of kids and young adults, and she kind of came up in that. So if they manage to not go off the deep end, it was Jet, right?
Yeah, Jet.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It was really unclear whether or not he died or not. I mean,
I know.
Who knows?
Rip. Such
I like
a
to think
teenage
he
crush.
yeah.
I know, right? He wasn't like a bad guy. He was a teenager
Misguided.
going through shit.
He was a
Misguided.
teenager.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
was a complicated character. He was a good character. Yeah, absolutely. So you want to be background outlaw, you think?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I was between that and monastic, but I think outlaw makes more sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think for mine, I'm going with of the ones that's already put on my sheet, confident and lighthearted. But one that's not on the sheet, I want to put down would be weary.
Weary. Love
I
that.
like that.
Very good.
I chose perfectionist and rebellious, which I think will be kind of interesting in that, you know, being a scientist or an engineer or an innovator, you have to be a little bit rebellious, but yet having like the scientific method and being married to that, you know, has that perfectionistic streak to it. And then also like not agreeing with what authority is saying and being like, I need to go and get out. So we'll see how that plays out.
I'm feeling like the kind of combination of playful and grave that you can only get from when the entire world is on fire.
From when you're a child soldier?
From when you are a child soldier and you've like killed a man at 12 and you're just like, kids be killing, it's fine. Like, you're looking like a child crying over their doll and you're like, I just don't get it. I'm gonna be real.
I think I kind of want to talk to you after the stream because I have an idea
Okay.
of how our character could actually connect then.
Okay, yeah. I'm into it.
Absolutely. No, this is good stuff. So yeah, your demeanors, you're going to pick those. That's going to inform your roleplay. You're going to choose what you look like, obviously. And then there is a section under history on the back of the playbook. I'm not sure where it is in the digital sheet on Roll20, but you'll
I
find
think it's on details.
details.
Thank you.
You'll find 5 questions about your character's story so far. Take a moment to answer these using any ideas or details you might have already come up with during the early character creation steps. Your answers explain how your character came to be the person they are today and why they belong to this particular playbook archetype. So you can kind of do those. You can work on those now. You don't have to finish or anything.
Is
but
that in the campaign creation worksheet or the main worksheet?
it should be the main worksheet, I think, in the details section.
It's part of the playbook.
Oh, part of the
Under
playbook.
details, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not on Roll 20 yet. I
Oh.
tried. Said it.
Actually, no, sorry, go ahead.
Do you need another invite or something?
No, it said the session timed out and just booted me off, and I was like, I'll deal with it. I'll try again.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, just click on that link. It should have you in. If not, we'll get you in there.
Would
Thank you.
on the character sheet fighting style, would that be like our earth bending or whatever?
Yeah, it's
It's not.
Oh, is it not?
It's not fighting style. Like, okay, so if you're a earthbender, you can either be the kind of person who throws rocks at everybody, or you can be the person who puts rocks on their fists and has marble gauntlets, or you can be the kind of person who burrows through the ground. Like, that's what they mean by fighting style.
So it's kind of
It's
like what you do.
Really ambiguous. It's kind of up to you, I think.
Okay, so it's just kind of
Yeah.
like this is how I fight.
Is it
Yeah.
kind of like in Fates where you're giving like aspects to your actions?
I don't know Fates. I'm sorry.
I
I
Gary's
think
played
so.
Fate, but I
Because
haven't played
It reminds me of-
Jahan.
Go ahead.
Well, just GM Jahan, you know that like we don't have specific moves. Like I create a wall of water. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm going to describe what I'm doing, and I make a
Okay,
army of swans out of ice. Like
got
It
it.
reminds me of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, where like you can flavor it with whatever after you get your skill book, especially like your sword, or like whatever weapons you use, but it doesn't have any like mechanical specifics,
Nice.
which is great because other games try to do that and it isn't always great. I'm not going to say the name of the game because I don't want to shit on anybody, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
do it offline.
So we've decided that we're doing this after the genocide of the Airbenders, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much been carried out.
Great.
In
That-
mass, it's been carried out. You might encounter pockets that are still alive. Since we're from the future, we know they don't make it, but hey, they'll be around.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because my first question on history is, what experience of being deceived or manipulated convinced you to steel yourself against being swayed by other people? Genocide.
It's fair. It's a fair answer to that question. There are stats, I think, is the next part. Every hero in Avatar Legends has 4 stats, short for statistics, and we all know. They are creativity, focus, harmony, and passion. Creativity measures your ability to think quickly and unconventionally to come up with surprising plans or breathtaking art. Focus measures your character's ability to perform difficult or precise tasks under pressure, to shut out distractions and work in a patient, disciplined, or stubborn manner. Harmony measures your character's social sensitivity, care, and empathy, their aptitudes at taking into account the views and feelings of others. And then passion measures the intensity of your character's emotions and drive, and how good they are at listening to their feelings and turning them into decisive action. Every playbook starts with a predetermined set of stats. Most playbooks start with 2 stats at a +1, 1 at a +0, 1 at a -1, although some, especially those you might find in the additional expansion material, may have a +2 and 2 zeros. Whatever the initial stats are, add +1 to one of those stats now. So this is up to you. You can put it wherever you feel would round out your character for what you want to experience. You can get rid of that pesky negative. You can really excel at your one big stat, or you can, be more well-rounded.
What move would I use
Yes,
to trick
sir.
someone? What stat would that be?
I don't know if it's that cut and dry. I mean, creativity maybe. There would be an argument for that, to do a outside of the box technique like that. If you are fighting in a precise manner, using your fighting skills and that kind of stuff, probably focus.
Okay.
But there's
Creativity. Whenever you click the trick basic move,
okay.
it says when you trick an NPC, roll creativity. On a hit, they fall for it.
Boom.
Okay. That I'm gonna
trick.
do.
Trick.
I thought she
But
said.
also,
Oh.
no, but also, Jahan, to your point, a lot of different things can be used to trick somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're
think
right. Trick
coming
is
from-
creativity. 100%.
I think coming from children, I should up that creativity. Yeah, that makes sense. She's an adult now, but definitely, definitely came from some shit.
What did you say passion was used for?
Passion measures the intensity of your character's emotions and drive and how good they are at listening to their feelings and turning them to decisive action. Think Mako, Prince Zuko, and Avatar Korra. All this having strong with passion.
And then focus is
Focus
What was
is your character's ability to perform difficult or precise tasks under pressure, to shut out distractions and work in a patient, disciplined, or stubborn manner. Ranji, Princess Azula, and Tenzin all have strong focus.
nice.
I don't remember who Ranji is. They might be a book
Yeah.
character.
I think so. Okay.
My boy Tenzin, though. J.K. Simmons, though.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it, man. I wasn't gonna do it. I was gonna get rid of that pesky negative, but once you listed the characters who have high focus, I went ahead and made focus my high stat too. So I've got that pesky negative back.
Yeah, I almost did that. But I mean, negative harmony checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Can't be
Yeah.
mad at that.
Oh no, I have negative harmony too. We just should not
my
talk to people.
God.
Actually, same here.
Oh,
my God,
wait,
the
what? Do
infighting
we all
is
have
so
that?
real.
Oh, no. Wait,
Do you have negative harmony?
I can add +1 to make it a 0, but yeah, I'm starting in the negative.
None of you have to.
No.
What did we
Maybe
do?
this is what brings us all together. Negative
Okay.
negative
Got
harmony.
it.
Just when
Nobody
I-
else likes
I'll make it
us.
0. That's the best
You
I can
don't
do.
have to.
everyone.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. All of you have.
I don't
negative
mind. I'm
harmony.
actually struggling on like
Hilarious.
where to put this one spare point I've got, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
Love the
Honestly,
leftovers.
with my
This is
character,
so
I
good.
put my +1 to anything. Really makes sense.
Yeah, I made mine like really well rounded because I felt like I needed that point in creativity if I'm like inventing things.
Yeah.
But I'm also like wondering if can we rearrange some of the points? Like, could I do like take away my point in passion, put it into focus?
I don't think you're supposed to.
Okay,
I don't think you're
I'll leave it
supposed to.
alone.
I don't know enough about the system to okay. It's not because I'm being strict. It's
Yeah,
because-
no. I get it. I get it.
But I mean,
Fine.
all of you sound. It sounds like you guys are making the characters you described, so I'm happy with it. Balance. Every PC has a balance track on their playbook, which measures the push and pull of your character's beliefs. You'll find each of the 2 pulls marked with a principle, an idea about yourself or the world that matters to your hero. However, these 2 ideas are always in tension. Do they already, in your playbook, do you already have principles written down automatically?
Yeah.
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 Okay, good.
It
I
took me
thought
a
we
second
had to
to
come
just
up with
leave
them,
them.
and I was like, oh no, this is
Oh,
gonna be
God.
hard.
No, that
So
Yeah.
this is the PBTA of the system. Every single
Yeah.
PBTA game has a push-pull that your character's fighting with. City of Mist is famously one that we played on here that we had a lot of fun with. In City of Mist, your push-pull is you're a regular person, but you're also a mythological being. So if you become too mythological, your character goes off to be Thor or whatever, and you're done playing the game, your character's gone. Or if you become too normal because your day job is a janitor and you just keep becoming more mundane, you go back to one of the people who doesn't see in Through the Mist. You just go back to being a regular old janitor and get a chance to make a new character.
Oh.
So this game's push-pull is different for every single sheet, which is really interesting to me. That's something I haven't seen in PBTA before.
No,
So
this is
like
definitely
mine is
a
friendship
cool part of the
survival,
system.
like I was saying earlier.
Friendship and
when we played,
survival.
when we
My
played,
like my extremely geeky like myth brain almost got activated for a second. I was like, no, we can't take the bullet. we're on a stream. I can't go
When,
on for 15 minutes about this.
when we played City of Mist, my push-pull was I was a 12-year-old little girl. She was also the concept of the Armageddon.
Nice. It reminds me of of in Broken Tales, which is like they take a bunch of fairy tales and like shit has happened, shit's gone wrong. Long story short, and they make I love it. I think it's really really cool. Because I love fairy tales. Baba Yaga is in it, and I fucking love Baba Yaga, and she's a little girl, which is the complete inverse. Like, so she's just like a tiny child. And she's like fucking great.
There was a character in our game that her mythos was Baba Yaga. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love me some Baba Yaga.
I was a toll road worker by day and Troll King by night because I was like, oh, they work so well, you can't pass my bridge without paying the toll, baby. So yeah, I was like a fat 80s mullet guy who drove a piece of shit car, and then was a nasty troll by night. Would like turn into this disgusting garbage monster. It was a lot of fun.
I love what Avenging Penguin just posted. We are a bunch of introverts going on an adventure.
No.
You know, that's kind of accurate.
Adventurers.
Not that I'm introverted. It's that if you cry in front of me, I can't sympathize.
But
Fair.
I don't want to, disagree with Avenging Penguin because this is all opinion and such. But I don't even think we're going on an adventure. I think we're a group of introverts trying to get away from the adventure.
Yeah, that's funny. It's chasing you,
trying to
and
get
you're
out.
like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, like listen, we just want to be alone.
It kind of works too well. But
Don't
yeah,
want to be
I
in a
just wanna
social
get-
setting.
To be
You don't want to
fair,
be in a social setting.
Having negative harmony can also be an extrovert that's really grating.
yeah.
Just an extrovert
Yeah.
that nobody wants to hear them talk or be. That's my route.
Yeah, it's the person who's like not picking up on the vibe of the room, and it's just like
Vibrance.
not great. Yeah.
So
It's always time for a joke.
to get it back on here, we're gonna. So your balance starts at the center. You can shift your balance once in either direction right now if you want to. So it's going to start on the 0, but if you want to be more towards one side or the other, like in Gary's instance, maybe he wants to be more on the survival track because he hasn't learned the value of friendship yet, or you can stay in the middle. So it's up to you. You either start on the -1, the +1, or the 0. So it's up to each individual person, and you can take as long as you need to make that decision. Your playbook has a moment of balance. It doesn't require any decision to be made, but it's important that you familiarize yourself with it. Your moment of balance is a special and extremely powerful move that will resolve an entire scene of conflict as described on your sheet. When you invoke it, you don't roll. Instead, you take the spotlight and gain control of the scene following the script.
Character sheet.
Yeah.
On the digital character sheet, if you click details underneath that first big blue block, there's moves, combat, techniques, and details. If you click details, it'll show you your moment of balance.
It looks like you made it in the Roll20, right, Kevin?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
catching up. Thank you.
No, I saw you in there, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, he's in there. So excellent. Yeah, it's actually a really solid Roll20 sheet that they made for this game, so that's exciting. I'm always happy when they have a good one.
Yes.
Oh.
It's so helpful.
So all characters can perform any of the basic moves in the game. There's a set standard amount of moves. Your playbook moves are the special qualities and abilities that make your character different. Look over the options available to you on your playbook and choose 2 moves that match your character concept or that you think would be fun or interesting to use and play. So from your playbook, you get to pick 2 that you get to have access to, in addition to the basic moves. And I imagine you'll unlock more as we level up and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I chose kind of 2 moves that are like opposites of each other. Because I really like the I don't hate you, especially if I'm coming from the Fire Nation of just like, look, hashtag not all Fire Nation, And so I like the idea of like the awkward scientist engineer being like, there, and like comforting people. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other one is no time for feelings, where basically I'm just like, we cannot feel right now. We just need to do it. Especially if we're in like a survival sense, I think that's going to be a really important move for me to have.
It can also be a very sad move at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so it's like I can either be like, oh, okay, let's kumbaya, hug it out, or I'm like, stop crying, let's go. So, we'll see.
So apparently each move either improves a stat, changes how a basic move or play feature works, or grants an entirely new ability. So just be aware of how they work, and I'll help you. I'll learn all this stuff too, and never be afraid to ask because we're all learning. Each playbook also has a feature, a special kind of playbook move which other playbooks cannot take, even with advancement. Features involve making choices about additional details that further define your character, their backstory, and the fictional world around them. They also directly relate to and support your playbook's theme. The Guardian has to choose a ward. Another character they're always trying to keep safe, while the Hammer has to choose an adversary. They're pursuing in hopes of bringing them to the idea of justice. Fill in the details now, referring back to your overall concept, the group focus, and inciting incident. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Where is the feature?
I don't know.
I think mine is called Squad Leader.
Not everyone
I
may
think
have
it's the
one.
I think it's the very first thing listed under moves. It doesn't say like playbook feature. It just describes something.
Okay. Actually, I know what mine is. It's the Lodestar, so it's the person who
It is.
got it. Okay.
Are we talking about, is that under combat techniques?
No,
No,
it's
it's under
under
moves.
moves. So
It's the
go for it.
I think it's all different for each one of us then, right?
Yeah.
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 It doesn't. It's not going to say like playbook feature or anything consistent between us. Mine's called Double Heritage. Hers is called Lodestar. It's on the left.
On the first page. Kevin,
Yeah.
I was wondering if your character could be my Lodestar.
Oh dear.
Because I know that that's like a lot of pressure to put on you. But with your character's concept of, you were trying to like bridge our heritages and like teach compassion and restraint to the Fire Nation, like I think it could be that like my squad attended like one of your seminars or something like that, and so your teachings is what kind of made me realize I needed to get out of this highly toxic, horrible situation. And so like you could be the person that I go to when I need like guidance.
Okay.
Are you okay with that? You can totally
I
say
think-
no.
I think so. I'm gonna reserve the right to go. I can't handle that. But
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I like, and it's fleshing out my character. So
I like it a lot. So the Lodestar is the person they listen to who can rein them in, let them know that maybe they should cool it and hold off a bit. So you're her voice of reason,
okay.
which I think it's really cool that they put something like that in here to like
Yeah.
bind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's,
good.
it's great.
That's cool. Honestly, that was like a really cool moment to watch one of you ask the other one to do that. That's cool. Does anyone else need to propose to anybody here for their background? Let's see.
Mine actually says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
The rogue doesn't have anything like that.
Mine can, under Squad Leader, if one wants to be part of my character's former squad.
It's entirely, that's entirely up to someone. But I mean, wouldn't that make them a Daily agent? technically.
Can be.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's entirely. Yeah, if someone wants to work that into their background. What are you? You're the pillar.
Yes.
From the Earth Kingdom, correct?
Yeah.
The pillar is exactly that. Group pillar holds up sometimes. Okay. Very, very cool.
Kevin, what's your character's name?
Letty.
Letty.
Ledi.
Perfect. Thank you.
Or am I pronouncing that right?
So right now, so far, what I have filled out is it says which are the most well-known traits of your squad. I checked off our fighting style, our legends, and our purpose. Then what your squad values, excellence and duty. And as here, despite being the leader, you chose to travel with your new companion. Oh, I think companions. What it sounds like so far, escorting important travelers, which might be Mylin and Kevin's characters.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so for the icon, it says to tie your culture or tradition into the scope of the game. So since we're doing a little bit more of a narrow focus, it kind of works with your idea of like being part of a guerrilla group. You're kind of, yeah. So the icon's role and associated culture tradition can be world spanning, but if the scope of your game is, say, the Republic City, the icon's role can be much more restricted to the city's limit. So think about what you want your role to be in that sense. I think that's pretty much. What do you have the thing? Do you have to pick too, Gary?
Yeah, mine was all the bad ideas. It was pretty great. Mine is bad habits, and I had to pick 4 bad habits. And if I do them on my own, it makes me go towards survival. If I get a friend to do it, it makes me go towards friendship. Because, I'm the bad idea buddy character build.
Jeez, is that Toph does that? But I didn't think she was the rogue, but she might be.
Oh yeah, dude. I think Toph's she's the rogue and the tank.
Yeah, she might be. Yeah, the rogue and the hammer. Okay, so that's the feature. We kind of gloss over a game part. So we chose more of a narrow focus, but there's also a group focus. So we have our era and our scope. Your group focus is the purpose which first united your companions to achieve a common goal. Your characters might disagree about how to achieve it, but they all believe the goal is so important that it's worth risking danger and changing their futures. So the examples are to defeat, insert dangerous foe here, to protect a place, idea, culture, person, or thing, to change a culture, society, place, or person, to deliver a person, thing, to a place, culture, person, to rescue a person, thing, or to learn an idea, culture, training, or history. So, to simplify it, to defeat, to protect, to change, to deliver, to rescue, or to learn. Those are kind of the group focus, and that's going to inform my storytelling a bit in the beginning. So, I don't know, it sounds like you guys kind of want to protect, really, your group from the war.
Yeah.
Could be the goal. Because it is a survival story, it seems. So that could be your group focus.
Would that make us like refugees then, or something like that?
You guys do sound like refugees, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It sounds like refugees and guerrilla warriors kind of story, which is interesting. I didn't expect it. It was kind of like a direction that I was like, it would be really cool if it happened, but I didn't expect you guys to choose it, so I'm happy. But are you guys okay with to protect the group, essentially? Like, group survival?
I suppose that
makes
is
sense.
what we've been aiming at. Yeah.
And I think the goal is just someplace where we can be safe and not hurt others and not be hurt, you know?
Yeah, to kind of to deliver yourselves to a safe place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. This is like
Ooh.
it's like Logan.
While we're on
would-
this topic, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say if we wanted to go like a really tragic route, we could be trying to get to Ba Sing Se. Because this is like before the big siege of Ba Sing Se, and so when we finally get there, we're like, "Yay, we're safe!" And then but that's like super dark and depressing, and I'm sorry.
Well, if we're
kinda
going
down
for
for that.
Rogue One, that's
Go down for that. Kind of while we're on the subject, if you click on details, I'm wondering if anybody else has this on their sheets. I have a section called connections.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think this kind of ties into each of our characters.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing that you guys are gonna have to do.
Do we want to do this now, or do you want to do this later?
I mean, we can definitely we can begin it now. That's something. Obviously, that's something that's going to evolve too. But let me take a look at it. What page? Oh, you didn't say a page. You're in the character sheet. Yeah.
If you click on details, for mine it says blank doesn't really respect my accomplishments. They probably need a lesson or two, and the other one is blank seems like they would have been a good candidate to be part of my squad. I'll look after them.
I am the one who does not respect your accomplishments.
That's fair.
There.
We have someone volunteered. That's good.
Are you the one, Michael? I actually have one on my sheet that you might be. Are you blank is way too uptight, too trapped in themselves, and they need to break some rules?
No, my character is more, like I said, they're lighthearted. They're essentially
Malin.
they're essentially
Malin's
like a
pointing
clown.
at yourself. Okay.
They're
So-
basically a clown.
Got it.
I accept the role of the Cyclops of the group.
Hell yeah.
Someone has to be Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Movie Cyclops sucks. Comic Cyclops fucks. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, because I feel like I'm like season 1 Zuko uptight, where there's just like so much happening, and then eventually I'll probably mellow out.
I think it was the ponytail. Because as soon as he let
It
that down,
was.
he chilled the fuck out. I think it was just hurting. I think it just
It was
hurt.
just
He-
pulled. It was just
he
pulled
didn't-
too tight,
He almost did, but in the Crystal Caves, he regressed a bit on his self-help journey and
True.
tight again.
It was really
Yeah.
good.
It's not a.
Actually, Mylin,
It's not linear.
do you,
That's fair.
Mailing. Yeah.
Mei-Ling, do you want to be my connection for that? Under blank doesn't really respect my accomplishments. They probably need a lesson or two. Because.
Oh, I thought that was duckweed.
Oh, I thought because like I said, my character is not uptight. They're basically kind of a clown. They goof
No,
off
the
a lot.
uptight one. That's Mei Ling's going to be the uptight one for mine,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to be the I don't respect your accomplishments and need a lesson or two because I don't care at all about the Ba Sing Se secret police.
They're not so secret if we know about it.
Yeah, I know about it. I live in the swamp.
You won't know them as a part of the secret police, though. When you first meet them.
Well, then he definitely
Right.
respect your accomplishment.
Well, I feel
They're
like
so secret.
I feel like it might be akin to like the Masons or the Illuminati. Like he's heard of them, but he's not going to recognize one out of the street.
Yeah.
But everyone makes fun of these groups, like
So Masons now wear. I have a cousin who's one. He wears his little necklace around
Oh,
town.
good for him.
Nice.
So you
I'm
know,
glad he worked out. They're not like a secret
My-
society. They're like they're in the phone
Yeah.
book,
we're
but
talking about
Yeah.
everyone
them on
treats them like they're
Twitch.
this. Yeah.
This like secret thing. It's probably because of the National Treasure movies. Um, does anyone take issue with my methods, aka the fact that I'm Fire Nation, and perhaps that they have a point, but I certainly can't admit that to them?
I mean, I'm helping you out and all, but
It's hard.
you
I-
are like Oppenheiming out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also thought
Yeah.
of Anaya's character for that, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anaya, what's your character's name? Have you come up with one yet, or?
I'm telling you, it's
Okay.
gonna be a.
right.
I have to go do this research and.
It's gonna be a game time decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of want to
Sounds
say.
good.
I'm telling you right now, I'm very indecisive because I'm literally looking at the Prodigy book right now, being like, should I switch?
And that's fine.
just who I
If you gotta switch it up, you're welcome to.
Anaya, I think you would actually fit for mine. Seems like they would have been a good candidate to be part of my squad, and I'll look
Oh, yeah.
after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe
You're
maybe you did the FBI thing where like you like went over to Afghanistan and were like you trained the insurgent children in like torture
That could
techniques.
work, actually.
That'd be
That could kind of
fun.
work.
No.
Yeah.
Then I was like, you're ops. What is this?
Yeah, you guys had ops come in and give you a seminar.
Right.
Well, we could kind of be like lone wolf and cub then, if you were a
Oh,
child
I like
soldier.
that. I haven't decided on my age yet, so yeah. In which case, I would definitely switch to Prodigy. 'Cause I think that's more.
My character is, I want to say at least middle age.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't mind being like a adult. I'm gonna be like Avatar show age, actually. If no one is, and we're playing a sort of dark story, if no one is opposed because, you know, children in danger.
Because
Sorry,
I want to
I
say
missed it.
Gary,
What was it?
who doesn't really respect my accomplishment, you probably need a lesson too. I'm kind of iffy on that one, mainly for the fact that you don't know my character's ties with the Daily is kind of the secret thing.
Yeah.
That's
no,
why
I
don't
wouldn't.
care.
Mike, what's your cover story? Because
Yeah.
maybe that's what he disagrees with,
Oh,
is
okay.
your cover
Yeah.
story.
Ooh,
Clown.
Yes.
Kind of a clown.
Oh yeah.
When two clowns
Do
collide.
you not want me? Do you not want me to be your connection? Because I suppose you could pick somebody else. I just thought it fit pretty well for me. But you could, if you want
It
somebody
would
else to be
fit
that
if-
connection.
Would fit if they're outwardly Daily.
Well, but if,
All right,
if
well,
you're...
you need somebody to disrespect you then. So
I mean,
who
if
Here-
want to
here-
disrespect you?
Hear me out though. Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but like if two people are kind of similar or they're trying to out clown each other, maybe it's just
Yeah.
because I teach like elementary kids. And so like when one boy's being a fool, then the
Chill.
other boy's being a fool, and then they just like ramp themselves up. So
If we go
I
that route,
could-
I'm down for that. I'm down if we go down that route.
yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me of
We could be-
no, just like the way that me and my friends. Well, I have a friend that I play with often that our characters often butt heads because they'll go like neener neener neener, and my character's like, I don't stop. So definitely that kid. Or if your cover story is still a very like because you're like a swamp, like, I imagine very like anti like organized traditional roots. Like if your cover story is still very like, oh no, like I'm totally like, I believe in the system, I believe in like things can change, and like a very kind of like middle ground traditionalist type of person where you're like, no, but I mean, I'm just like a civ, like I believe in the government, like it's not that
Man,
bad.
my best friend is like that. My best friend liked school, and he fucking has a house and a kid and all that stupid shit. Oh, I fucking hate that guy. That's why he's my best friend, though.
Harry, would you mind doing this? Like, you could be part of my connection for this. If our relationship more like Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets, but they're antagonistic towards each other.
You're on separate balconies.
I'm still trying to figure out just how insane my guy is. As I'm answering on the details page, there's like questions to help you answer fill in your background, and I don't even think the swamp people like my guy. I think they didn't like the kind of bending I was doing, and I think I done got so many opportunities they kicked me out.
They did name you Duckweed.
Mm-hmm. That's payback, right?
Mama knew. Mama knew.
You call me Duckweed, I'm gonna bend some blood.
Like my character's current cover right now is essentially a luchador in a circus.
Oh.
I love it.
Okay.
Nice.
What is your, not your fighting style, but your training? What is it called?
For my fighting style,
you are an earthbender, not a weapons user, or like, okay. And you're a fog bender.
I thought you were asking me. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm waterbender. By fighting style, I put that I'm used to having swamp nearby, so there's going to be a lot of situations I'm just not ready to fight because I've grown up somewhere with just water everywhere, and
clear
that's
drinking
not the
water.
case. Yeah, I'm not used to carrying canteens and water and having to do all this extra stuff. I'm used to just being able to do it. So I think that's
desert really fuck your shit up.
One of my connections is so-and-so is so awesome with skills and heritage I've never seen. I would learn all about them and their background. I'm like, so my options are the person who turns other people into puppets. I was like, what else is there though? Cool, I've got an earthbender.
Oh my god.
I've seen firebenders, so
Yeah.
I think, is that it?
I mixed my earthbending with luchador skills.
Yeah, and I personally think that's awesome, and I've never seen that before, and I want to learn more about it. So I should probably lean into what's easy. Because no offense to Duckweed, but I don't know if I would be like, wow, that's so awesome. I think that'd be horrifying.
Yeah,
just
there's
straight
a lot
up
of things about
horrifying.
I stole the wooden mask from the Guardian before I got kicked out. I had to pick a thing that I stole, and I was like, well, what would I steal? Ain't nothing to steal in the swamp except the mask. So yeah, I also have to pick my mask on it. So you're probably not about it. You guys are probably not about it.
Jesus.
I love, you're like, there's nothing else to steal except the Declaration of Independence, so I took it.
Yeah,
no.
I keep picturing like Duckweed's poor mother, a grandmother, and the rocking chairs being like, yeah, I named him
You're
Duckweed.
right.
What do you expect?
I had to
Yeah.
I had to pick somebody who like tried to keep talking sense into me, and that's who I picked was my grandmother. It's already on my character sheet.
That's amazing. We're
like,
definitely
"What's he
gonna
doing
have
over
to have We're definitely gonna have to have some flashbacks there.
Right. We have to. Of just this extremely aggro child out here.
Right.
So there's a part where you're supposed to outline your like inciting incident. It sounds like y'all's is pretty easy. It's going to be an escape, so we don't have to get too into it at all. I'll kind of surprise you, but you guys are going to be fleeing a situation in the first session. So that's something we can just kind of skip. It seems like you guys have most of your stuff. I feel like I'm probably missing something here.
Ooh, I just had an idea. Like, do I want to reveal this on stream? Like, it'll be part of the first episode.
Yeah, you can save it.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to end on some sort of cliffhanger, which is hard to do on a character creation episode. So, like, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find out next week what Michael's talking about.
Right. Also, I think I'm going to stay with my choices with the icon. And I'll be at least in my young adult era, if not a little bit older. Yeah.
There is a part about combat techniques. So each hero in Avatar Legends is trained warrior of some kind that starts their adventure with some extra advanced technique that they can use in combat exchanges. These advanced techniques can be used in place of or in addition to the basic techniques, depending on your stance move results. So, if you're playing a single session, which we are not, you start with a single master technique. But since we're doing a campaign, you get one mastered technique and one learned technique. Page 211 has these. You have acquired your starting advanced techniques through lots of practice and training. How did you learn it and from whom? What does it say about your character and how they approach conflicts? And then, yeah. That sounds fun.
Is that a specialized bending?
I don't know. It might have something like that. Oh yeah, there's specialized bending. Yeah. Let's see. So types of advanced techniques. So you have a mastered one and a learned one. Learning techniques. Okay. Mastering new technique. Types of advanced techniques. So universal techniques are any technique that can be learned by all characters regardless of training. That's a universal technique. Then there's group techniques. Some techniques can only appear when used by groups of NPCs. These are group techniques. PCs can never learn group techniques. Okay. Rare techniques.
What did I do?
Techniques that are particularly powerful and potent are often rare techniques, closely guarded secrets. And then there's specialized bending techniques. Finally, some specialized bending require characters to have mastered specialized forms of bending, like healing or lightning bending, in order to learn them. Each of these techniques is marked with a specialized bending form, such as lava bending, metal bending.
You get blood bending.
Hey,
So
you could
we
get
get a mastered and a specialized?
you get a
That's what you said?
mastered and a learned.
Oh, damn.
We get a
So I got a
mastered.
mastered. I have to mastered
Oh.
water to get blood. So I can do that. But then learned. That's the one I got to figure out.
What were you saying, Kevin?
Well, I was just confused on that because I thought you said because we're not doing a solo game, like a single session
So
game,
in a
that means
single
we don't
session
start
game,
with-
you
yeah.
start with a single master technique, but in a full campaign, you get one master technique and one learned.
And one?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. I thought we had to earn it. Awesome. So I found the list of techniques on page 280 if anyone else is looking at the book.
That is very helpful.
Okay.
That's where they start. So it
Fine.
starts at universal and it goes across.
Oh, attack weakness, rapid assessment, charge, seek vulnerabilities, duck and twist. There's all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah, there's the group techniques, which that's going to be fun. But like waterbending, the first one is blood twisting. So
Ooh.
there you go.
Using blood bending to
Oh,
move and
goodness.
twist a foe's body in painful ways. You must be empowered to use this technique. Inflict a condition. So, like, empowered would be like full moon or other circumstances.
Lightning or air doesn't get any fun special ones, like lightning or combustion.
There's like ice gauntlet. Man, there's a lot of cool stuff here. Oh man, I didn't realize that these were a thing. This is
I just found this.
This is cool. Jet stepping is a firebending technique. Advance to a higher position, so essentially you can jetpack. That's so cool.
I kind of want to get chi blocking jabs.
Ah! Michael, I love this character.
It's a cool, yeah. That's a good. It's a weapons technique, yeah. That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
But I'm wondering, would that be too much? Already being also Earthbender?
I don't think it works that way. I don't think it. I don't think you can be overpowered. I don't know. I haven't
Okay, I
played.
think I'll get, because I'm thinking chi blocking jabs and counter strike or disarm.
Swing.
Those are. What's interesting about those is you seem like you're a very defensive fighter, not an offensive one. Which, might say something about your character.
Very, very cool.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
We can just take any two of these techniques. We just have to decide which one is our mastered one.
Which one is mastered, which means you can always do it, and which one is learned, which means you can sometimes do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
I was wondering. I didn't know the difference either.
I had to scroll up where we first were. I had to scroll up a couple pages from where we started at. No, not at 280. That's where we wound up. Wherever you had us at the beginning of that, Jahan. It was above that. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the difference was between mastered and learned, because I have to have water mastered before I can think about blood. So for me, it's going to be water mastered, blood learned, and I can do some blood moves. But those are related schools of learning, so I'm not sure if you guys can branch out from schools of learning, because I didn't try to do that. But it seems like you could, right? I just picked blood. You guys can pick whatever you want, as far as I would see.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay. So you're gonna be picking techniques. We are getting towards the end of our time here.
Okay.
I just
this is
have a
fun.
question really quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So I was thinking of going down the technology route, obviously. And one of the techniques is jerry rig.
Uh-huh.
And so then it says create a new device on the fly. You gain favored, hold one gear, and name one basic technique from any approach. As long as you hold this device, you can use that technique as if it was part of your current approach. So does that mean that if I make something, I can use any of these techniques on the list?
I think something like that. Yeah, I think you can essentially, use your move to create a device, and then you can use it to have a new move, essentially.
Okay.
So, you could make a jetpack to do jet streaming. You could,
Got it. Okay, so it's like I can mimic.
kind of,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
It's a very. It seems like it sounds versatile, and it should be if it's a jury rig skill. So that, yeah, very cool.
And then there's something about holding a gear. Do you have any idea what that means?
I think it's like a condition where it's like, are you
Okay.
holding gear? Yes. And
Got
then
it.
if
Okay.
you're holding gear, that means people can make you drop gear. I don't know. I think it's something like that.
Mm.
It sounds like a keyword for moves.
Well, because, yeah, it's also like I could spend gears 1-for-1 instead of fatigue on some techniques.
Yeah, so probably
That is
you could.
I would really be willing to bet that that's your chi. Whenever everyone else is spending magic and chi and stuff and fatigue,
Yeah,
you're spending
okay.
gears
That makes
because
sense.
you're an engineer.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
I think I'm going to take cheap blocking strikes, but I can't decide between rapid assessment or seek vulnerabilities. Because, like I said, my character is apparently from the sheet, former leader of a squad. So I think one of those two would make more
I
sense.
think assess would make the most sense. My opinion. But, I mean, they both make sense. So if you like the other one better, go for it.
Do we have to pick a certain amount of things off this sheet?
What do you mean?
It sounds like he's picking moves off the sheet. But we don't have to pick moves off this sheet, right? We can do, if you're a master, you could do all the water bending stuff. You just have to spend mana for it, just like if you're the tools person. So really, Michael, I think you could do all that stuff on that weapons list. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to pick chi blocking strikes. I think you can just do that stuff because you're master weapons. If you pick master weapons, but you're going to go master earth. So that's what you're going to have to choose is master earth
okay.
or master earth or master weapons, and the other one will be learned.
Oh, okay. That makes kind of more sense.
Wait,
Oh,
so
oh,
are you saying that we can we choose one of the categories to master?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
not is that
That is what I'm saying, and I believe that to be true. Let me try to find it again in the book, so I'm not talking out my ass. But we did. It was right where I just showed you that other thing you were reading, Jahan.
Yeah. Let's see. When
Where-
PC learns
let
techniques
me
in
do
Avatar,
control that.
they are always learn tech. They always learn advanced techniques. A player character first gains an advanced technique at learn level, then improves it to practice level, finally mastered.
I see. Okay, so next to
There we
each
go.
technique, there's an L, P, and an M.
Yeah.
So that's where we mark if we have it mastered or if it's learned.
Yeah.
Got it.
In your character sheet.
Yeah.
So I don't have one in front of me. Is that are those next to like airbending, earthbending, that kind of stuff? Or are they next to?
No, so we're not able to add a category. Do you want me to just share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing?
Oh, this is sick. I see what you see now. This is sick nasty.
Yeah, pop it up for
Yes. Okay, so go live. Yes, maybe. Okay. So if you look on the character sheet, you can click on this little plus button here, and then you can add one of the as many techniques as you've learned, but you can't add like the whole group.
Okay, so you do get just 2 of those.
So you get 2 if you're mastered, and you get one if you're learned.
No, you get 1 that is mastered and then 1 that is learned.
So yeah, you just like choose one of them, and then how do I get out of this? Okay, and then like right next to it, right here, it has an L, a P, and an M. So L means that you're at the learn level, P means it's at the practice level, and then M means it's mastered.
Sick. So that'll probably be +1, +2, or +3, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, learn techniques, you can replicate the technique sometimes. Practice means you can successfully apply it in stressful combat situations. Masters means you get it.
What have I done? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing because it's freaking out.
Where is it? I'm trying to find it.
Okay, so on your character sheet, let me go back to the character sheet really quick. If you go to combat techniques, and then in the middle column, you should see like, sorry, for some reason this is being weird.
Oh, I
There
found
should
it.
be like that little plus sign, and then
Yeah.
you can choose your things.
Okay.
Ah, man. I'm looking at the specialized bendings techniques. Pretty cool. Blood bending, combustion bending, healing, lava bending, lightning bending, metal bending, seismic sense, and spirit bending.
Yay.
Pretty sick.
Question: if a skill is rare, is that not something that we can get?
I think
because
it's
not...
just a flavor thing.
Okay.
Like, it's
'Cause
like,
looking at certain
if you do it,
tables-
you're one of few people that can.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So
Yeah,
I might
'cause
take
I feel
that.
like this game's not really trying to limit. It's just trying to, like, roleplay, essentially.
Got you.
Man, Kevin, like, a while ago, you were trying to say something, but you never did. And, I don't know. Do you have
all
anything
right.
you need to say?
No.
Okay. I just want to make
I'm
sure
just
you have
trying
the
to-
stage.
Well,
as
thank
it
you.
were.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
No, I'm just trying to figure it all out.
So 1 mastered and 1 learned, right?
1 mastered, 1 learned.
Yeah.
We're getting to the end of our time, so what does anyone have any questions, any things they want to say? We'll be talking about this in the chat, over the next couple of weeks. If there's questions, I'm available, and it sounds like the rest of you are pretty knowledgeable and able to answer questions as well, so, use each other's resources too. And I'm pretty excited about this group. You guys are, I don't know, there's a magic here. I feel it. I can feel it. You all seem like solid people, so very exciting. But yeah, if no one has anything further, we can go ahead and end it. We're going to go ahead. So for future hours, we're going to do our outros the same way we do our intros, same order. And you'll get used to it, I'm sure. And this is your time. You can plug anything that you have going on, any projects you're working on, any channels that you have. This is your time, so like feel free to say whatever you want to say.
Whatever I want to say?
As long as it's not,
No.
awful. But yeah, so hey everybody, this has been Fresh Out the Box, Session 0 of Avatar Legends from Magpie Games. I have been the Game Master, Jahananan. Oh no, Gary froze right when it was
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're back.
No, I didn't.
You're back.
Okay.
All right, I'm the co-host of Fresh Out the Box, Fresh Out the Podcast. Check it out. We got 104 episodes of Fresh Out the Podcast. If you like movies, streaming shows, video games, Fresh Out the Podcast is available where all podcasts are available. If you don't like that stuff, what are you doing here? Come catch us every Thursday and Friday. We're doing tabletop role-playing game stuff. Thank you, bye.
Hi, my name is Anaya Monet. My TikTok, which I forgot to mention earlier, is Babylon, Baeballon. It doesn't have any videos yet because I'm about to start making some. Whoops. And I am a narrative designer and writer on Stranger Things VR, which comes out November 30th. So if you like Stranger Things and you like VR and you want to get a little spooky, Hellfire Club rep, go check that out.
Hey everybody, I am Michael Powell. You can find me all over the internet on my social media, which is usually at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO. Or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure, and my current streaming schedule right now is every other Tuesdays. I'm on the New Age Geek channel where I play Plasmoid Slime on Spell Shots. And then every Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm on the Toyzilla Network where we talk about toys and collectibles. And then every other Friday, I am here for the time being playing Avatar: The Last Airbender TTRPG.
Nice. Hi, I'm Mei Ling, and you can catch me on TikTok at MLKitty1875. I mostly lurk, but every now and then I post videos. You can also catch me on the Ace of Geeks podcast network, where we have our regular podcast. We also have Yavin Radio, which is a Star Wars improv comedy show. We have 2 seasons out. The new season's coming. We also have Edge of Reality, where we do actual plays, but in podcast form. So our first season was Kids on Brooms, which was super fun. And then I ran a Candlekeep episode where they learned the danger of chairs. So if that sounds interesting, definitely check that out. And if you're in the LA area, my husband is launching the League of Swords, and we have our first live show on October 21st. So if you're interested in that, check out theleagueofswords.com. And yeah, that's me.
I'm Kevin Allen. You can find me on Instagram at Kevin Allen Graham and Blue Sky at Kevin Allen. I actually keep my name. It's so rare. I know, it's a huge deal. Like I said, you can also check out episodes of The Party that I'm part of if you're into web series about role-playing games. It's funny. But yeah, SAG is still on strike, so support unions. I'm not working on anything else right now, except all this great homework and being a part of the Avatar PG here Fresh Out of the Box.
Oh, so that's why you have 5 characters.
I need to act.
Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good night and stay fresh.